Okay, today we are building an app, and I'm going to get a whole lot of ideas from you folks. We're building a shopping list app. Let's see if you can zoom. So we are building a shopping list app. So let's have some ideas. So let's say you are going to the market and you don't, you go to the supermarket, you go to the market, and you want to go and buy stuff, but a lot of time. So let's talk about the problem. A lot of times you forget about what you want to buy, and it's because you have not written down all the things you want to buy. So how about, and then there's another problem. Let's say you write it down, and there's a chance that the paper, you forget it at home while you're going, and then you have to come back to the house and pick it up, or there's a chance that it's a sheet of paper and you get lost. And there's a chance that you don't have pen at all. Yeah, people don't have pen at all. So why don't we create a simple app that you can just pull up and just write all the things that you want to do and the calculation. And then when you get to the shopping supermarket, as you are buying them, you can then check them off as that you have bought them. Okay. So that is what we want to do. We want to create. Okay, so the problem is we forget what to buy at the market, and then we are looking at an app to about save our shopping lists. Okay, now let's think of features for this app. What do you think should be the feature? The first, you can enter an item and the price you want to of the things, groceries you want to buy. Number two, you can see the list of items, right? Number three, you can mark an item after. Number three, you can delete an item. So let's say you enter an item and you can delete that. Okay, so those are the features. Do you have any other features that you think it might be okay for you? Someone says I should talk louder. Okay, so you don't have any other feature. I think this feature is enough for, of course, you can always. Okay, once it's some prices, so that because you want to see the total amount of everything, you can see the sum of all the items. So that means we have to go and see the price of each item and add them together. Good. Is that all? Now, we have our use. Now we want to build an app, but then let's sketch the app first. Let's sketch the app first. Okay. So what should do? What do you think we should do to the app? Can I make people collaborate? So can I? Okay, let me send this link to you guys. So that you see exactly, just click on the link, you'll be able to come here. And I think you'll be able to collaborate. I hope you don't delay. Okay, yeah, everyone is here. Good. So we want to have an header. Please don't add in place. If you want to have a comment, you can add it here. What should we call the app? Let's just give it shopping list for now. You can always change the name later. Sorry, who is dragging this? Sorry, please don't drag go. Okay. Now let's have we don't have a UI, but we can go to Dribble. This is the site inspiration. We can go to Dribble. And yeah, we can have discount. I know it's in version 2. We may not be able to finish up. Okay, so let's go to Dribble. And we want to see, but I'm liking this UI. It's coming up. Okay, and I'm liking this UI. We may not do exactly like this, but what's happening on trip? So I just quit. Okay, so you can see, I like how it is laid out here. So this is the app bar here, and we can have a list of items. So we can have item 1, item 2, item 3, and the likes. And then we will have a button here at the bottom. The button will be static and move, and the button will say create, like add an item. Right, like this. Good. So what else should we do? For every item you add, there will be a checkbox here. So you can check it when you have done it. When you have bought something. And inside here, you can say a pack of noodles. Let's reduce this. So you can say a pack of noodles, and then beside it we have a price. Oh, sorry, who is moving this, man? Did I do wrong by? Everyone should be able to see this. We can say this cost $2.99. as dollars. So we can have another one here and another one. Now, where should we put the balance? So you can enter an item. Okay, to enter an item, let's duplicate this. So as you click on add an item, it will show like a bottom sheet. It will show like a bottom sheet that we take in the item. That's two text fields, and then it will take in another one, which is the price. And then a real button here, which will say, yeah. So that's basically, maybe we can the total around here somehow. But so basically what you are building. So we fleshed it out. It looks good, right? Yeah. Can we use this in place of Figma? No. This is just to sketch out things. You have thoughts, you can sketch it out. But if you want real design, you use Figma. Although you use Figma to sketch out thoughts also. But okay, we have Flute Lab now. Let's go. What I want to do is let's run this. So we start building. So for every one that we have, we just check it and cross it. Let's see if you can finish building it in 1 hour, 40 minutes. Okay, still building. Oh, that's my mail. Sorry, not my mail. It's taking a while. If you're on your local, you can run your local. Okay, so we have this. We can now start working. In the title, I'm going to give it shopping list. On the material app, okay, we can go to maybe orange, a deep orange. Looks, you can always handle that one later. So I want to remove this debug icon. There's an option in material app that you can set to false, debug check mode banner, and it is in false. So this debug will go out. The black is not a color. How? Okay, yeah. So this is not a color swatch. So this thing is looking for a color to be a range of color, like palettes. You see, but black does not have all the colors that has a swatch like this. I sort of in this line. So it has to contain a swatch because you can see that as we change to deep orange, watch that the text will be white. You see, text is white. And as we do lime, right, the color will turn to black, see, because it uses this color to create some swatch. Okay, so let's delete this class. We're just going to create our own home. So create a file home.dart, and we create that. No, I'm not deleting. So in this home.dart, we create a stateless widget. I already taught you how to do stateless widget. We call it home screen. And then we import material. Here, you remove my home page, add home screen to it. So it will be giving you some, underlining some of this, some of screen. It's giving you suggestion to make your code better. You can see it's telling you add const modifier. It's just trying to make your code better. So if you have this, to still run normally. Now in our home screen, we are going to return code. You know how we return scaffold. So here it becomes white. Okay, someone is saying we should make it black. So are we making black? So if we want to make the ABBA black, in the scaffold for the home page, we can have the ABBA, and we can say background color is color black. And boom, we have that. We can hide to be a text, and we say the text will be shopping list. The text will probably not show because the text is black. So we give style and give it a text style, which color will be colors.white. You can see. So let's look at, there's a bulge under here. The bulge is looking, yeah, an elevation that you can set to 0 on the ABBA. You can see the elevation. It looks flat now. Look bulge. If you actually want to make it look like this dribble, the ABBA, the background is white. The text color is black. So we can have the background color to be, we have lime the other time. So the background color will be white, and the text color will be black. Yeah. So we have this. So now we can then define the body. So look at this screen properly expand? I know I cannot expand. Look at this, the up bar, it has a white color, but the background has like a gray or something. I think if you go to material app, I think you can set inside this theme data, you can set the background color to be colors.white, and it will affect all the colors. Let's remove this body first. Does it affect? It doesn't. Some data. Okay, it's scaffold background color. Scaffold background color. If you notice, I actually don't know everything here. So until I hover, okay, it's now white. Let's remove. Until I hover before I now see that, oh, this is the options that I have. So anytime you are looking, how do I do this? You just over and look at the parameters here. What can you do? What can you not do? And you'll be able to do whatever. You don't have to cram anything. It's not, you don't have to cram. You just, as I'm writing it, I'm saying what's possible. I look at it and say, oh, this is possible. They have indicator color, they have this one. Just be playing around with it. At a particular time, you become really familiar with it, that you know where everything is. Yeah, transparent is also color, sort of. But it won't have a color, but it will have like a background color. It will give you like, you just need to play around with it and it will give you what you want. So let's go back to our app. So we will go back to our body. Now remember, we want to do put a list of, where is it? I want to put a list of all these items there. And so let's have this. Now we can then start to create the list like we have a dribble. We may not do the image, we may just do the top one and the bottom one. The top one will be the name. You can add how many it is. Maybe it is 2-pack or 3-pack. Okay, so there's a widget in Flutter called Lighthall. The Lighthall will allow you to create that kind of list. So in Lighthall, you have the title. Let's have a title. It takes in a text. So let's have a pack of, you see, interesting. Inside the list style, there's a subtitle property. Inside the subtitle, we can have the number. So let's say you want to buy a pack of noodles, the units times 2, something like this. And then in our this thing, we need to add a price. So to add the price, there is leading. Leading means the beginning. Trailing. There's a trailing property, which is also a widget. I make it a text. And we can say, if you want to add dollar, you have to escape it using escape. This one. You can add it to 9. Oh, power stove. You want wait oh. You want to have the app on the Play Store at the end of that's not possible. To get your app on the Play Store, you have to do a couple of things. You have to create an account on the Play Store. Account, you need $5 a one payment to give you a Play Store account. And then after you have that Play Store account, a couple of days, you need to set up your profile, you need to add some images, you need to configure it a lot. So for App Store, it's $99 per year. At the end of here, at the end of today, I think we can generate an key, like a debug key, that you can install. If you upload the APK somewhere, you can install it and use it on your phone. For if you are using an Android. So we can continue, right? Okay, so so that's basically it. So now let's make it look nicer. And a pack of noodles, let's style it. And we give it a text style. I don't know why this guy is hiding. You can give it a font weight. And font weight is font weight dot bold. You can give it a font, maybe give it like 24. Let's see, is it too big? Oh, let's give it a 10 then. Okay, you can use the same style and give it to the money, $2.99. And for this one, we can reduce the font to 400 and give it about 14. 14 is like default. With 16, yeah, it's looking better. What can we do with list style again? We can add an icon. Okay, so let me just not bore us with all those things. So okay, we can always redesign. So let's add this button. So when you add these multiple items, there is a chance that it will go under. But we want a button that will always stay at the top. So there is, in a scaffold, there is something called the bottom navigation bar. It's for your bottom navigation. And bottom navigation bar will take in a widget. So I can say I'm giving it a container, and then I'm going to give it a decoration, box decoration. I'm going to give it a color. What color should we give? Let me pick this color and use that color. You can say color. You can always follow me if you click on the this thing. I sent a link to, oh no. So the container here, let's give it a height of, let's say 50. Yeah. Let's say we give it a margin. You can give it a, that's the space between every corner. So to give it a margin, there's something called edge insets. And I'm going to use edge insets dot all. I'm passing a value. Let's say I pass in 10. You see, let's use 20 because 20 sounds like one. Okay, it has shrunk now. There's a space from every edge. Every edge here is 20, which is good. We can also do the border radius. Border radius will mean that we are covering all the edges. So we can do the circular and give 20. Oh, nice. So let's increase it and give it a 30. Yes. So now we want to add the text inside it. So we give our container a child and say, what are we saying? Add an item. So you see that the add an item not in the center. I told you guys that you can wrap your widgets with center widgets and to center it. Yes. We're still not looking good yet. It's a white color. So I'm going to style the text style. We give it a color of colors dot white. We will give it a font size, increase it a little bit. Yes. Let me give it 18. Ha! Our app is looking good. It's good looking. Don't you guys think so? Oh my God. So someone said, why didn't I use a bottom nav widget? You can take a widget. So by force you use a bottom nav. Okay, so let's continue. I don't want us to still have a long way to go. Okay, so I've added this. So imagine a list of items. It's going to be long. You can see that if we start doing it, code will now become very long. So you can make all these code widgets into their own file. You can extract them into their file. All you just need to do is to create stateless widgets for them. And also, I think you can, oh, you can't. Okay, so let's we are going to create inside live folder. We are going to create a folder. We call it widgets. There will be all our extracted widgets. For example, we will say item dot, and we will create a stateless widget, which is item, and then we import material. So instead of returning container, we will go here and we'll read list style instead. So let's remove list style from here, and then we will return list style here. And then when we save, so instead of in this place that we did list style, instead of list style, we can just do item. So that we can import the item here. So it makes, you can see it's now smaller. What's happening? Still loading. Because I created a new file. The building. Oh, there are two princes. Nice. You people are you like your honey of Ife? Someone said it's a honey king. Oh my god. Okay, so now our code is smaller, and we can add as many items as we want. When we save, we see that all the items be added. Yeah. Good. This one too. Let's extract it and say and create a add item button. That we create a stateless widget and say add item button with material. Instead of returning the container here, we go back to the home page. We copy this container out, and then we return it here. So let's copy the add item button and then replace it here. Then we can import it. Yeah, you see that our code is now smaller because we have been able to extract ones separately. Good. Yay. You guys have become as Flutter devs. Okay, so we are basically done with the UI. At least. Oh no, we need to be able to check this. We need to be able to check it. It will check. But so let's go to the item.dart. In the leading, we can add an icon. Let's check box. Yes. But you know there's another that has the checkbox for us. That is like list style. So I've forgotten what the widget is. This is where it can always Google. Always you can always Google. So let's say Flutter list style with check. I know that there's a check Lighthall. Let's code. I thought the guy is it Chester? Wait, I want to see if there is. Flutter has a checkbox lister. Let's use that. Let's see if we can use that because it's not work. So inside there, there's no. Let's look at Flutter docs. Flutter docs will give us how to use it. Flutter checkbox lister. Okay, this is it. Whatever you do, if you are looking for, always check. They have a very nice video for it too. You can use it. Okay. So they have a demo for you that you can. It even comes with it. But my problem is, I want the checkbox to be here. Apparently, we have to make our own because it doesn't look like. It doesn't look like I can change the position. This is a radio, which is a radio. This one is for options, basically. So, okay, let's just build on. What we are going to do is, so let me go back. What we are just going to do is we just alternate between check. I have to look for the. Let's see if. Okay, so this is circle. How is the icon for it to be unchecked? Check. There's no icon for it to be unchecked. Wow. Interesting. You only have check, which just like this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, so when it's checked, let's what are you guys saying? Oh, someone says check next time. Okay, check next time does not. I will have used it, but it's here. I want one that I can. I think maybe we probably. Let's see. These are the pieces. Oh, wait. Oh, that's the border side. I was thinking that maybe we can put it on check. We can't. There's no other property here that we can use. Let's see. Okay, I think we can actually just use checkbox. Interesting. So we can use checkbox there. Okay, so instead of this icon, you can basically just use a checkbox. And the value is false. So there's a checkbox. Okay, so this is it. So there's a checkbox widget too in Flutter. So if you set the value as true, it will check here. Yes. If we set the value as false, it will uncheck. Okay, awesome. This is what we want. So apparently we don't need all these ones. Oh, someone needs the Discord. Just go to the announcements and click on this Discord link, and you will be able to see all our videos from day one. If you can do it in this weekend and look through, you see so many value that we have done. Okay, so our shopping list is looking good. Is looking good, right? Okay, let's create some sort of logic now. You can see that all these things are that I'm adding inside it. They are static, right? We want it to be dynamic such that oh, we still need to design something. We need to have a bottom sheet. Remember that we have our escalate draw. Anytime we click on an item, it opens. Okay, so we need to do that. So there's something called bottom in Flutter. So let's search. I think I like to be using. So we are going to be so a bottom sheet is like this. Let me show you the bottom sheet. It's called material design. In this is so now when you click on something, it will open like this and go. Let's say you want to share something, it will go up like this. So what we want to do is modal bottom sheet. So we are showing a modal bottom sheet. Now when we click on it, it's going to open it. Okay, this is how to show a modal bottom sheet. So now there's a button here. When I click on it, it opens. I can close it. That's what we want to do. Good. So this is already here for you. You see that Flutter is good, that everything is in the documentation. Everything you need is in the documentation, that you cannot be stranded. You understand? Why are you cramming? See now, I've been using bottom sheet since I started Flutter for over like 3 to 4 years ago, but still don't remember the syntax. A lot of go and pull it up. So let's use a bit. But the bottom sheet will only be done when we click on add an item. So instead of item button. So sometimes when you create a class and you want to go to where you define it, when you are building complex app, you have a lot of files. You may not know how to navigate. But one way to do it, inside this add item button that we did, you can right click and go to definition. It will take you to where you did that class that you have. Make sense? Okay. Yeah. Give me a minute to all my A's. Okay, I'm back. And someone says, can I post them sheet? Let me give you. So easy. Yes, with Flutter, you cannot. Flutter has one of the best I've seen. You see, everything you need is just there. They will give you examples. So you can just copy and paste. So, no pass like that. Okay, so um where were we? Okay, here. Now let's go back here. We need to click on it. We want to make this button clickable. There is a widget that you can wrap around this add item button that will allow you to do unpressed. What it means that will allow you to take an action when you press on something. You can do it anywhere. You can wrap anything with that thing and it will allow you. So one of those widgets called, you can wrap it with a widget. The widget is called gesture detector. So with a gesture detector, you can just wrap it. So you have access to a whole lot of methods. But one we need is where is it? Where's the method? There's somebody here. Wait to move away. Okay, let's over. There's on tap down, on tap, okay. There's no on pressed actually in gesture detector. Okay, on tap. And inside this callback function is we do all the plenty thing that we want. So what do we want to do? We want to do that when we tap on it, press it, it's going to open this bottom sheet. So we are going to just copy the code here. Why do you want to disturb yourself when they have given you the code? And we just copy it like that. We are going to fight a bit, but let's just save it. Let's just, so now when I click on it, see, it opens. Yay! Flutter is sweet. Oh, no, on press. Okay, it's on top. I know gurus are here. It will not make you weak. As long as you know what you are doing, there's no crime in copying code. That's the reason that they have added it as a, that's why they added the code of this thing here. They added it so that you can see how it works and modify it. So let me explain how the show bottom sheet is basically a method that has something like a builder. A builder will always build a new widget for you. A widget for you. So let's remove the color. So the builder has to return a widget. So here they are returning a container. They are returning a container that has column and has a list of widgets. Remember the column has a list of widgets. But in our case, we need a column that has two children, text field, two text field, and a button. Okay, so let's do text field. So when you want to accept input for the user, something we call text field. Text field, we accept text. So let us save this. You will see. See, you can enter. Are you seeing what I'm saying? Okay, good. So let's add two text fields. Oh no. We are adding two text fields. Once you save, you will not see it immediately. So you have one, you have two. Now the last one is to add a button. But we don't want to recreate our button again. So because we already have a class for the button, so we just have a button that says add item. And no, the button says save. So what I'm going to do is, if I'm just adding the button here, I will not be able to configure the text here because it's not, there's no way I can put the text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the class can accept something that I pass to it so that at least this button will be unique. With that said, I can say this class has a property. This button has a property of string name, or let me just say title. So what I will do is I will make the title required and let's say this dot title. This is how to make composable widgets. So you make it that you can configure it. Like it's the same thing as a container that you can pass in a height, can pass in a decoration. They made it configurable for you. You too can recreate your widget and make it configurable for use. So now it means that I will not have a static um, text here. I'll just replace it with title. Now my home page is giving an error because I made it required. See now, it's saying that the named parameter title is required. That means that it's telling you that you need to pass a title. So if I do the light bulb, when you click on it and you do the light bulb, you can see that it gives you add required argument title. It already adds it for you. And inside here, instead of add an item, I can do save. Here as well, make it required. And instead here is going to be add an item. So let's test it now. This one says add an item. This one says save. You can see how we made it composable. Chic now. Okay. Sorry. Wait, though. So someone says, I can't follow up the conversation again. That's why it's a live class. You can always talk back to you. It's not a tutorial that the teacher will just be talking. That's why I come back here and read comments sometimes. Copy is not bad. As long as you understand, that's good. Yeah, we'll see if I can code this in an hour. I think we can. As you are coding, it feels like you can relate. What if you are left alone? Okay, so that is where you have to practice and practice. That's why I said after this class, you need to go and practice on your UI a lot. And then that is where community also comes in. You can always ask in the community that, how do I do this? How do I do that? And someone will help you better. Of course, you will be frustrated a lot. And that's the way. This is the way. Okay, so we continue. So now we have nice looking this thing. Okay, so let's go back to our bottom widget. So we have text field, have another text field, and we have item. Okay, so look at the text field now. It's looking somehow. In fact, it's looking like it's at the end of the something. So let's just make it a little bit finer. There's something called, but before that, I want to, you can add a padding. There's something called padding. That is, you can add a space. For example, I've added a padding of on all sides. So if I want to make a padding on, maybe I can say only, if I want to make a padding of left, I can pass in 20. Look at what will happen now. You can see where it's starting from. That means from the edge of the screen to here is 20. Let's add another 20 to the right. You see, there's 20, there's 20. Makes sense. It's not every time that you pass size box. In fact, it's good to always just pad most of your stuff instead of adding padding sometimes. So you can even easily add padding. If you click on the widget, you can just wrap with padding here. So let's pass in that padding. Add item. Yes, it's looking better. Good. So in the text field, so now it's not telling us what to add here, We can add a hint. We can do, there's a decoration here that takes in an input decoration. So you can do input decoration. Inside the input decoration, that means you want to decorate the text field. We can have a hint text. So hint text, we can give it, say, enter item name. So you see, it already gives us enter item name. So you can say, it looks like this, a pack of noodles. You can see it, once you delete it, it show enter item name, which is good. We can copy the decoration too and say here, enter price, like this. It is good. Enter name, enter price. Our app is getting sweet. Oh my God. The Discord link is, let us go and grab the Discord again. I don't know. Figma to Flutter, I will not recommend you to do that. That's like a fastest way to cheat the system, and you will never understand how everything works unless you know what you are doing. And plus, some of all those tools does not really work that well. So my opinion, okay, I think we are good to go, but we can enforce some things. For example, when we are entering, it's because you are not seeing it. You are on Flute Lab. Okay, let me create a Discord again for you so that you will have, this one will expire in 7 days. I'm giving you this one too. Just join this Discord. That's the only way. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Just had a quick message. So we are basically done. There's a lot of things you can do with your, say we are adding the keyboard type. The keyboard we only show number here when you price, but you can't see it on the, because you are using web, but when someone is on the phone. Also, there's a couple of things that you shouldn't allow them enter here. Oh, no, you don't allow them enter number and all those things. But for now, I think we are good to go with this one. Okay. Okay. All right. So yes, we are good now that we have set out to do. Our app is almost done. It's a lie. Now we want to add the app log. This is the one that everybody will be tired. This is the one that everybody will be tired. I want to run. But remember that sorry. When you want to model something, you create a class for it. So now we want to model this so that the approach is that, let me show you now. The approach is that what we want to do is we want to create a container that will contain a list of all items. Just visualize it that way. So that when I click on save item, it will take this, something like this. It will drop it here. So this will be the first item. As you click on save item again, it will drop it here again. Like that. Like that. Like that. So when you want to get the sum of all the items, you know how we did a list now. You can loop through all this one and get their sum. We did it. We did it before. Okay, the host is here. Apologies, people. I was sitting really close to my internet, and I must have tripped it up somehow. And I had to restart it. So let's see if we can get good network. It's pretty bad this night, but I think we should be fine. Can you hear me? Can you see my screen? Hello? Is anybody home? Okay, you can see my screen. Good. All right, so let's continue. So we need to create a class for this. We need to model it. So as I said, we need to model it. So for every model, we need to drop it. And how to do that? We can create a library. In our lib folder, we can create a folder called models. And inside here, you can create a class called item model.darts. And we will create a class called item model. Yeah. So now, inside this item model, we can say we need the name of the item. We need the quantity be integer, of course. We also need so we have done this. We need the price. Pricing will be double because it can have floats. It's a floating number. It can have a dot decimal. Yeah. So we can have the price. What else? Then remaining this. This one is Boolean. And we can say it's bots. Yeah. Okay, so we have modeled this, but we need to be able to find a way to pass the detail inside this model. So if you click the light bulb, we're going to create a constructor for it. So we are good to go. Now we can save that. Now let's go back to our home. And then we need to, anytime we add an item, what we are doing is we are just adding the model to a list. So this would be a list of item model. So this container will be list of item model. So each of this one will be item model. So this is the, so once we click on save, we are just gonna add an item model inside here. So let's this list first. Remember that I told you that if you want something to change, you need a stateful widget. But we have a state, so we need to convert this to a stateful widget. When you click in stateful widget, the light, and you can see convert to stateful widget audio code. So we have converted it, and now we can add it list. We can say we are creating a list of item model. So when you do item model, we are creating a list of item model, and we are calling it shopping list. I'm going to first set the list to be empty. because of course it has to be empty. It's in there until you start. So here we need to import the. So clicking on this, you'll be able to import it. Now we have a list. So now, so I told you can use a list of I told you that you can if you want to have two widgets same horizontally, like we have a column. But if you want to have a dynamic list, for example, you can also use a list view. A list view will show a list of your widgets and also make it scrollable, because a column does not make it scroll. I have many now. There's a chance that it's going to complain at the bottom. Wait a bit. Oh, this frustrating. I should have used my local, but I wanted people that don't have. What are you talking about? Send you an overflow error because it's not scrollable. What you can do is convert this column to like a list view. And if it's hot, you see, if I can scroll it. Oh, this one is messing me. Okay. I can scroll it. You see, it's scrollable. So that's the whole point. Oh, you want to ask why didn't I use? Because some people don't have a really good laptop. If some people open emulator on their laptop like this, they think the sound a jet that is going to the moon. So that's why we are using online, so that everybody, you won't have an excuse that you are not, and it sort of works well for us. So good, it's a good thing. Okay, so now, but the problem is when I add an item model inside this shopping list, I want to show. So what I'm going to do is, let me remove each of these items first. And I'm going to convert this list view to something called list view dot. I can use list view dot builder, this list view dot separated. But I'm going to use separated because it has another thing inside of it that allows me to give space to each of these items. Now, inside this item builder, remember I told you a builder will return a widget. So inside this item builder, I need to pass in a context and an integer and an int. In this separator builder, I need to pass in context and index as well. So here, I'm just going to return a sized box that has a height 2. So now, inside here, we will return an item. But look at this item. Item count is supposed to be the total number of items in our shopping list. But for now, I'm just going to do 5 so that it will create 5 items. See? That I can say create 10 items. But those items are not that. You can see they are the same thing, which is actually not what we want, but we can always format it. Okay. That is good. So now, what I'm going to do is when I click on save, after I've entered all these things, when I click on save, I want to add the model into this shopping list. So in this add button, I'm going to wrap it with a gesture detector. On tab, yes. So let's print. I say, I have been praised. Let's add an item, save. You can see I've been showing prints. So what we actually want to do is to add the item to our list. So let's go back to this test field. We want to, anything we enter in this test field, we want to pass anything that we enter in this test field to our model. So how do we do that? Look at this test field. It's supposed to have, you see this, it has a controller. There's a controller here, text editing controller, that you can attach to it. Now, anytime you enter anything, you can get that controller and get the text inside it. So at the top here, let's create a controller. So we are going to create a text editing controller, and we say item controller equals to text editing controller, like this. And then the next one is text control editing controller, price controller equals to text editing controller. So we create instance of it like that. And then we can attach the controller to each text field. And then we can say controller, item controller, here, controller, price controller. Yes. Next, inside this on tab, we can then say this shopping list too, we want to add to you. So we can go and say shopping list dot add. Now it's going to ask for what do you want to add. If you over here, it's looking that you should add an item model. But how do you add an item model? You can create an instance of an item model. So remember that I said when we are talking about class, I told you that you create a class, you define what you want to build. And when you create an instance of that class, that is, you have actually created it. It's just like you want to build a car. I know maybe some of you want to have a car production company, but you have to sketch what you want to build on the paper. That's like you defining the class, which we have done here. But now we want to bring the car into life. Then we are now creating an instance of the class. So we can now say item equals to item model, like this. So now we have to pass in all this thing. So to pass in the name, we just pass in the item controller text. Quantity, oops, hey, we did not provide a place for the quantity. So let's just copy this one and copy this one and say enter quantity. let's go and create a controller here, which has to be our quantity controller. Don't worry, you can always watch this video again and see what you are doing. Quantity controller, so I will use it here. Enter quantity. So now here will be quantity controller, the text. This one is asking for an integer, but anything you get from a text field is going to be a string. So what we can do is we can pass our string into a text, into an integer. So this is how to do it, int.pass, that's a method. And also for the price, we can do double.parse. We pass it to. So the price will be price controller the text. Now is bought, we are going to just set it to false because at the beginning, of course, it got to be false. Yes. Are you seeing it? Yes. So the object that you have created from that class, I've created a car, like a car object. This is an item object. I've created that car. I've created that item. We now pass it. We now say anytime we click here and all these things, we should add it. Now, but we need to add some sort of check. So we can say if our item controller, so because we don't want it to be empty, so we can say if item controller dot text is equals to null, it can always okay, is not equals to null. Wait to is the item controller the text always null? Interesting. Wait, let's see. So we can have, is that, so are you saying that, wait, let me go and find it. Hey, are you guys still here? I think I got a bit. Hello? Are you? Hello? Are we back now? I couldn't see. I lost my network at some point. Yeah. So you can hear me, please. Uh, I think some village people does not want us to continue this night. But we can continue. So where I stopped was I wanted to check if we can put some rules here. And I'll mention that we will probably do that later. But the way to actually do it is to use a test form field. But we are not going to go into that tonight. I'm just going to make sure that we are adding an item here correctly. Are you still following, please? If you are following, say hi, hello. So I know everyone is here and it's not just my internet up with me. Okay, good. Okay, so now what you have done is created an instance of this one. And then we are adding to the shopping list. Good. So now let's test it. So instead of this item count, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do shopping list dot length, so that it will be the count of all the items in our. This place should be blank now. Good. So anytime I add an item, I click on save and add the item to our shopping list. We have a dummy item here. So let's do. Oh, there is an and it's because we are adding height. Let us leave it like this. Okay, let's add an item, a bag. I want to give you people. Can't add anything here. What is wrong with what is wrong with Flute Lab? Or it's because I put the keywords. I don't think so. It's like nonsense sometimes. Ha. Oh no. So I'm entering to the price. I can't enter anything now. Wow. No way. Flutter has bugs. Oh, what are we going to do? Let's do a hot reload. Can I refresh? Flutter is buggy. And I can't download this code and start running it on my laptop. Okay. Okay, let's try again. A bag of rice equal to, the price should be 23. So let's save it. Wait. So after we add, we want to do something like a context dot. We want to pop it out. So we do navigator dot. It's going to pop it out. When we save, it is not saving. Remember that I said you need to do set states. If you want to change the states of your variables here, so we need to put add in a set state so that it will notify to rebuild. So let's try again and say bag of rice. The quantity is 2, rice is 25. Hey, are you seeing? Oh, okay. After we added it, there's still a bug. It's still showing the old one, and we have to clear it. So what we can do is, after we can clear all our controllers. Say item controller dot clear quantity controller dot clear and price controller. So it's going to try to clear it. I say a bag. Oh no, FluttLab is messing up again. Let's reload. Sorry. Okay, I think we are going. It's going to work now. So let me just clear at the top. No. Let me just put it here. So a bag of beans to 25, save. Add another item. Okay, it's clear. A bag issue 46. Okay, so showing the dummy item that we have is because item is not dynamic. So that we go to our widgets item.dart. We are going to tell it to take an item model. And we are going to make it required this dot item. So inside here, instead of having, I'm going to say item dot name x, we are just going to say item dot. We need to put a curly brace here, be able to access it. We are saying item dot quantity and the price item dot price. Here, I will say item dot is bought. And then we go back home. So this item now is expecting us in an item model. So to get the model here, we have an index here. So it automatically helps us to loop through our shopping list and show it. So all we need to do is our shopping list of shopping list here. We will just pass in the index like this, chicken now. And when we reload, and we say a bag of this, I put the quantity, I put the price, save. You see, the bag of rice is showing. And say a bag of beans, put the quantity as 4. Say it's $17. There. We are good to go. Right. Okay. Are you liking the shopping list now? You see, we are done with our shopping list now. So now we can now check the, the shopping list is surprising you. So our shopping list is looking good. Is looking good. You can say a loaf of bread. A loaf of bread, you want to buy 5, and it's going to be $2.99. Yay! And you can take this to the market and say, okay, I'm buying them is now. You have to now do it that you should check. You should check. You can check it, you can mark it. So how do we do that? Item, there's an unchanged. There's an unchanged here. So we need to make sure that this unchanged, when we click it, is going to mark this guy. So how do we do it? So here we are going to pass in a function that is going to take in a boolean, and we name it unchanged, and then in here we just do unchanged. So we are going to, and we say this dot unchanged. Now we go back here and say add require arguments on. Now inside here, so when we click on it, what we want to do is we want to find this item in the shopping list and we set the is bought as true because it is false already. So let's see if we can do that. We do a set state with shopping list dot index where the element dot wait. You can just do shopping list index that is bought just to true. Can we modify it directly? Oh, we can't because is a setter. Interesting. So we go to this our item model. We are using a final. So let me get rid of this first. See if we can do that. Let me see. And it's good. So always set to true. So we can then add a simple logic here and say if the shopping list that is bought okay. We don't need to do anything. Just need to negate anytime you click on it. So let's try. Say a bag of rice, quantity is 2, price is 24, and we click on it. Yeah, it's good looking. Woo! Right. Wait to. Oh, wait to. You can't see my screen. Have I been talking to myself? You can see my screen, right? Hello, are you there? Saying it's making the foggy. Okay, good. I think the only thing remaining for me to do is we already did all this one that we can check and it will be fine. We are basically done. What I want is when I've checked it to be true, I want to strike this a bag of rice. I want to strike it out. So I begin to the item and say in the item dot in this name, I think there is in the textile, I think there is, how do you underline strike through? So let's Google. Let's Google Flutter strike through text. Okay, it's in decoration, line through. So you see, I'm saying it from Stack Overflow. And you can always see it in Flutter safe. There's it in Flutter decoration. See? Flutter is so good. They already gave it to you. So you don't have to do anything. So in decoration, line through, let me save. Oh, it will disappear, sorry. A bag of rice, 2, 3. Okay, good. Okay. So I want to do that if item dot is bought to line through, else it should do nothing. It should not strike through. So I think the only thing that's remaining. So now let's test if rice, the quantity is 2, the price is gaskiya a bag of beans 2.25, and you see, good. So we have our shopping cart. An assignment I'm going to give you is there's only one part that remains. Can we do that? We move it to the bottom of the list. Okay, so an assignment that I'm going to give you guys is I want to see the sum of or as you're adding them, I want to be seeing the sum of all the items that you're adding at the top. So as we are adding an item, I send a bag of rice or of noodles. I put the quantity. You should be summing it. Note that it should the sum times 23 plus 2 times that plus 4 times 25. All the sum will be at the top. I think that's the assignment that we give to you. Yeah, I want to push the code on, but you will see it. And I also made everyone access here, so I guess you'll be able to access it. Previous code. It's on my Float lab. I can push my GitHub. So I'm going to stop this night. The project that we want to build, well, yeah, you can add where you want. The bottom line is I want to see the total number, the cost, or the, because when you are going to market, of course, you want how much is how much is your budget. So I'm not giving you UI. It's part of what you are thinking. You can see that we didn't have UI when I was doing it, so I had to sketch it out and do what we want to do. Good. I want to take this screenshot so that we use it to show. Okay, I think this is all for this class. So yes, you can add here. Just think. That's all.